I'm smoking the last buffalo hide I am ever going to smoke. The last step in the tanning process. They were a lot of work, and it's going to keep me warm this winter for my trekking. I should rephrase that. It might keep me tolerably warm. It is pretty cold up here in the winter. Tomorrow I'm off to Dunvegan Pioneer Village, and they're going to be bringing in a number of grade 7 and 8 students. It's an education weekend, and whenever I get that opportunity, I take it. It's a passion of mine, history, obviously, but if I can instill that in younger children, a common conversation around campfires of reenactors and living historians is, how come we all got white hair? So the demographics is we're getting older, and we need to bring younger people into the fold. And if we take those opportunities to engage young children, to instill an idea in their head, plant the seed, in other words, we can bring more of them into this great hobby of living history. I should point out too that Dunvegan Pioneer Village is an awesome historic site. So if you're trekking across eastern Ontario or into Quebec and you get the opportunity, take the side trip. It's a great visit. The people that run it are amazing. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to an opportunity. I'm going to be presenting birch bark canoe building and how it related to the fur trade of the 16, 17, and 1800s. And once I get this done, my kit's almost packed, and I'm on yet another road trip to a fabulous historic site. Forgot one thing. A couple of the tools that I use is I try to do hands-on. If you can not only engage them in their heads, but let them touch things, feel things, hold the tools. The other thing is I try to do is encourage young people to start, if they like reading, or even if they don't, start to read historic literature. The authors, they do a in-depth research into their content, and they take these stoic old figures that we see in oil paintings from the 16 and 1700s, and they bring them alive in a novel. Sure, they take a lot of free license, but we'll look at Champlain as an example. Now all of a sudden, was he stoic? Was he happy? What did he like to eat? Was he quick to laugh? And in that novel and in reading that, one can truly start to experience history. They're a person. Yeah, anyway, I'm off to get some canvas tarps and get this covered in so I can keep that smudge fire going for the day, and then I'm off to Dunvegan. So last night I shared a campfire with this young lady, and I'd like to introduce Holly Bennison. And Holly is a new YouTube creator of historic content, which always fascinates me. And I'm going to let you tell me what do you do, Holly?
So my channel is called By Golly Miss Holly. It's a little silly, a little fun, but a lot of what I do is Canadian historical content. I originally started with costuming. So what makes Canadian historical costuming? I documented a lot of my projects. I really started during the pandemic, but now for my master's thesis, I'm actually working on a culinary history series featuring one Canadian cookbook in particular.
Okay, so and you've got a site that you're able to actually use a hearth.
Yes,
You're not
yeah.
doing that in your university dorm, I'm
No,
thinking.
exactly.
No.
I've partnered with a really amazing museum, Lang Pioneer Village in Peterborough. They've
Been there. Great
yep,
site. Great
super
site.
generous with allowing me to use the site, and we've been collaborating about how I can give back to the site in terms of my research and you know, some of the recipes I'm cooking as well, so they can
Perfect.
do it too.
Perfect. And how long have you been creating the content for your channel?
So I actually, the content for my thesis, I just uploaded the first episodes last week.
Nice.
So that's very new, but I did start roughly 3 years ago, so very beginning of the pandemic. I had the YouTube channel on and off, but not content that I ended up keeping because I was like, "Ah, get rid of it." But that's really when I started to dedicate it to tracking my historical projects. And
Perfect. I think your subscribers is going to grow like as the content of your channel grows.
Certainly.
And your culinary skills grow. It's all going to
Yeah.
culminate, and yeah, you'll have subscribers galore.
Yeah.
And anyway, I would encourage anybody to look up the site once again. What do we call it?
Yep, so the series is called The Backwoods Kitchen. If you look it up, that's how you'll find it.
Backwoods Kitchen. Anyway, it was a pleasure meeting you.
You as well.
Wonderful campfire
Thank
last
you.
night, and thanks for sharing this.
For sure.
Perfect. Oh my, I am in the officers' quarters. Wow, and I have Jonah Ellens.
Yes.
Pleased to meet you, Jonah. Well, I'll meet you again. And Jim Mullins.
Hey, Peter,
Jim.
good to see you again.
So we had a campfire last night, and we were discussing the topic of trying to get younger people involved in our passion, and history, and hobby. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Jim, because you've run this event. I should point out we are at Glengarry Pioneer Village, and it is an absolutely beautiful historic site. The first time I've ever been able to make it. Most definitely not my last. So, Jim.
Awesome, thank you. That's good to know. Thank you, Peter. We've been, believe it or not, we've been doing this for 14 years, so it's crazy. Every year it's it started off as a way to end our reenacting season, to give everybody an opportunity to come together and just like one last, huzzah. And it's kind of grown and developed into more of a living history element as well, utilizing the Glengarry Pioneer Museum with a lot of the many volunteers that give their time here, including the blacksmith and a few of the other local people where they're doing textile arts, and so the village itself is, kind of comes alive.
So you're the captain of the Fencibles?
Yep, I am. Not originally. I started reenacting way back in '97, and then I kind of got away from that with family stuff, and then came back into the hobby. And this is and it's all about recruiting the next generation.
Young fellas right here, right?
Yeah. That's right. So yeah, it's grown,
perfect.
and we enjoy it. We've added an education program, so a full day education day, and that's Peter. That's why you're here, and I'm so glad you were able to come and
anytime I can get an opportunity to educate youth, I think that's what it's about. And so you are portraying the.
So I'm portraying a captain of the 100th Regiment, the Grenadier Company.
Very good. And your group were out for the battle today. That's sort of fun for the public, but I think for most of us it's the camp life, it's the campfires at night and stuff.
And the friendships and the camaraderie that happens.
It lasts a lifetime.
That's right.
Anyway, I can't thank you enough. I will be back next year, Jim.
Thank you so much, Peter.
And
Keep doing all that you do.
Appreciate meeting you. That was
Yes.
and a fun evening. And let's get some younger folks involved in this. So it's a pleasure to meet you, Bridget.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Peter.
Dangerous thing to allow me behind the bar.
Yeah, well, we Irish people have to stick together,
Right,
don't we?
right. I love you, girl. That's good. That's good. So you're going to tell us a wee bit of history about this structure we're in, which is absolutely fascinating.
Well, we're at the Glengarry Pioneer Museum, and it's the oldest continually licensed pub in Eastern Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Star Inn, and it was established in 1860 as a stagecoach stop between Ottawa and Montreal.
Okay.
Or Montreal and Ottawa, depending on which way you were going.
Okay.
Now, when the stagecoach used to come out to the front, I'd go outside and I'd say, do you have money to come into my inn?
Right.
And if you had the money, you were allowed in.
And if you didn't, do you want
You were stuck outside.
Oh,
sorry.
I gotta go now.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that means I get one on the house?
You get one on the house,
Oh,
Peter,
sure,
because you're
Jen.
such an Irishman.
Jen, yeah.
There you go. All right.
All righty.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Hi.